いしかない。正義。
Hey everybody, BAM Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. Apologies in advance, I'm still feeling under the weather so my voice might sound different, but the show must go on. Today I'll be showcasing one of my oldest, most dearest statues that I've had, and it's got to be one of my top 3 Holy Grail statues. Made by the studio STR, and there's only 300 made. I believe mine's number 127 out of 300, but unfortunately that has actually faded off because I think it was on there with a paint marker. That's how they put what the edition number was. On the front, I do believe those symbols say 8 gates and Guy on the bottom. If there's anybody that knows, feel free to confirm in the comments below. The base on this is actually super odd because not only is it removable, but it's in a square shape. I can't think of any statue that I own that has a square-shaped base. To decorate the base some, these flame pieces were included and sculpted separately. There's a little notch on the back, and you'll see exactly where these are inserted on top of the vase. Also included were smaller flames that get attached on the base as well. Now I'm kind of wondering, are these actual flames or are these versions of red vapor? Because there's 8 in total, so maybe they're there to represent the 8 gates that are being opened. One would go on the left and right and also one on the back side. Almost unbelievable, but this next piece you'll see me install is actually all one giant piece. I do believe this all was casted in a clear red resin, as you see on top, and the bottom pieces where the rock is were actually painted on. This statue actually came with some LEDs installed, and they were inside of the eyes. Unfortunately, mine arrived dead on arrival. Let's go ahead and take a look at a topical view of everything. We have the magnets here on the side, which the top dragon headpiece will attach to. Here's where those LEDs were. There's typically a wire inside of there, but I cut it off because there's no point in having it. And inside, it's amazing. It's actually hollow, and I am so thankful for this. We'll go over why this is actually such a great benefit in just a few minutes. Taking a look at the bottom portion of the base, there are a few things to point out. So there are notches all around the bottom, which affect pieces we'll later attach to. There's some magnets in there as well. And then in the center, you'll see there's this hole, and you can poke down to the inside of the base. So that kind of hollowness of the dragon can go all the way down into the bottom there. This is a piece that covers up that hole, and this is actually one of my favorite parts of the statue right here. Because the original casting of this piece is red resin, if you put a thinner layer of paint over top of it, something cool will happen if you shine some light on it. After I dug myself out of the depression of my LEDs not working, I had a brilliant idea in order to illuminate this statue, and honestly, it turned out way better than if I would have relied on just the LEDs that were inside of the dragon's eyes. These are LED disc lights, and I actually have them to where you can change all different colors. I decided to go with just a straight yellow because when you shine that up through the dragon, you get yellows, oranges, and reds, and it just looks amazing. When a base comes that's removable from the statue like this, you really get some options to be able to customize like I'm doing here. One of the discs flipped over, so let me just go ahead and turn that right side up so it shines upward. With everything back in, now you can see why this is one of my favorite parts of the statue. With only certain parts painted with that rocky texture, it looks like the ground is heating up from all the vapor that Guy is emitting from his body. It's just an incredible look that you can't really accomplish with paint alone, but a mixture of clear resin, paint on top, and the LEDs shining through, this is what you get. I have no idea what kind of painting technique that they use, but it drops my jaw every time I get to see this up close and personal. Now to get the toupee installed on the dragon, first thing we'll see here on the bottom is those magnets that allow it to attach to the top of the dragon. As we flip this over on top, we'll see an interesting paint technique that was used where it's called panel lining. So they took a little bit of thin paint, it looks like it's orange or yellowy colored, and they went all throughout the cracks and crevices to bring some of the details out. Now the resin on here is super sturdy and strong. I love the coloration from red to the orange to the yellow. It just really looks great how it all comes together. To add the final touches to the dragon, we have 2 whiskers that were sculpted separately, and again, they kind of emulate those of those top ones that we saw earlier, but these have the magnets in the side and will be installed right to the left and right parts of the nose. To top off the base, we're going to have several different effect pieces that were sculpted separately, and again, like I said, get attached to it via these magnets on the side here. Some pieces did have rock particles that were sculpted on there and painted, but some of them are just straight up vapor pieces that are shooting straight off the sides. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if you think adding these effect pieces onto the base, was it too much? Is it just the right amount of effects that were on there? I'm personally okay with it, but I'm kind of curious how everyone else feels about it. With everything assembled, I'll show you real quick how the LEDs look just for the dragon. Oh, it's so glorious. I love it. But now it's time for the main event. This has to be one of my #1 most epic scenes in the whole series, maybe top 3, but this is definitely one of my all-time favorites. With the top portion of his outfit not on there, we can tell this is that moment right before he's about to take off for his Night Guy kick. I love how they made the veins come to life. Now, I thought to myself upon seeing this how amazing it would be if those actually had the LED effect inside of them, but that was kind of before that time with statues. Thank goodness now Singularity Workshop's Night Guy has that sculpted inside of it. It's such an innovative thing to be able to include in a statue. They did an absolute perfect job with those bright, big, red, bushy eyebrows, and then his mouth being open so it looks extremely intense, his hair flowing up like a Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z. That's one of the things I love about Naruto is there was an explanation as to why things did turn red because his blood was mixing with the vapor. Just so cool. If you look closely to the rocks, you'll see finger indentations, so it helps guide you exactly where he needs to be positioned when putting him onto the base. With everything into place, we'll go ahead and insert those red effect pieces again and take a look at this bad boy in the dark. As you can imagine, it looks every bit as glorious as you could expect. This is one of my first earliest statues, and I hope after taking a detailed look at it, you can understand why it still remains in one of my top favorite spots. I really do think that STR did a perfect job at capturing Guy moments before he's about to take off to land that kick to Madara. If you personally collect statues, be sure to check out memberships on my channel. Favor GK has a partnership where they give me a 10% off coupon code available to my Kage members. So if you ever have any questions, hit me up, let me know. Before we wrap up this video, I did want to show you how I showcase my Night Guy by STR alongside my Singularity Workshop. So this is in a 29-inch wide packs. I also have that awesome manga book there to accent it. Well, everybody, it is my pleasure to have showcased this statue to everybody. If you enjoy this video and if you enjoy statue unboxing content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Like the video, share with your friends, and as always, everybody, do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.